is Dominic.
Hello, my name is Jamal.
Hi, and I'm back. I'm Josh.
Yeah, and this is Soul Oasis.
Is
Welcome back. We got Josh. He has returned.
that's some coffee over there.
Some coffee.
Some hot coffee.
Some hot coffee. He's got his Superman corals.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
that-
just the one.
I tried to comb my hair back, and then I leaned down to pet a cat. My hair just went.
Hey, it's okay. It adds character.
Do you have a cat
clearly.
with you, or did you take him?
Nah,
Both
it's not
cats
both.
were fired. As before we started, audience or fellow travelers, we tried both cats separately because they would fight if they were both in here at the same time, and they both were a disruptor of the peace. And so they were fired. They are out there with my wife, who I have bribed to give me time for this by just putting Stardew Valley in front of her.
She likes Stardew Valley, does she?
Yeah, she loves Stardew Valley. It was a gift, and I'm very glad I got it, because at first she hated it, and then it was like one day of hating it because I got it for her, and then went to go hang out with you guys.
Okay.
And I got home and she was like, "This game is terrible," and I was like, "Ah, crap." And then the next day she would not quit playing the game, so it was like an instantaneous switch on that. Now it's like her favorite game ever.
I get it now.
I see
I
a
just
lot of
never-
people play it. I want to play it.
Oh yeah, I got home and she was like, "A wizard sent me an invitation to go hang out," and I was like, "What?" Because I didn't know that Stardew Valley had any of magic and stuff. And she was like, "Yeah, wizard sent me an invitation, but I'm working on my farm right now." And I was like, "Only you, Abby, would get an invitation from a bona fide wizard and be like, I have work to do."
Come to my secret keep for magic. The carrots need tending to, but maybe later.
I was like, "What about the call to adventure, Abby?" And she's
It's a
like, "Well,
call
it's
to
Gandalf." Yeah.
And farming tools.
And she's so funny. She has started over multiple times to reorganize everything.
Okay.
Going this section here, this section here. She also has a cat in game named Albie that looks like Albie. And she just looks at that cat and goes like, "Albie, why aren't you like him?"
Why didn't she have a Maki?
It's favoritism.
But why do you think she doesn't have Baki in the game?
Just in case Maki, she comes back to the farm from the Wizard's Keep and it's all just destroyed.
Maki's like, "I don't know what happened. I panicked while you were gone."
There's you in the corner, Star does value you, and what happened? I don't know.
Yeah, no, she was asking me for dating advice for the poet in the game, and I'm like, "I'm not giving you advice for flirting
Cheating
with
on me.
another man." Yeah, how dare you.
Virtually.
Meanwhile, I'm there going "How do I romance Aerith in the best way, Abby?" And Abby's like, "Well, you want to do all these things," and I'm like, "Okay, well, that's not in the game. All right, I need
How do I do it within the bounds?
You
of
want to
the
take her out to
rules?
dinner? You want to give her?
Yeah, she was
flowers?
all this stuff, and I'm like,
Okay, we got one Ferris wheel ride. You got to make it count.
and she got so mad at Cloud because I got the best scene, and Cloud still was super standoffish, and she was like, "What is wrong with him?"
The writers,
It's
I guess. I don't know.
I'm like, "Listen, Cloud has issues. All right,
This was never
he's
supposed
not
to happen.
okay."
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
okay.
it is.
Dead.
Yeah, this is doomed for failure. And then she's like, "Well, then why are you doing it?" And I was like,
There's always
"Because
a chance.
I think that it makes the story so much stronger if Cloud is in love with Aerith
Okay.
and then loses her."
Yeah. What do you think will happen if you don't lose her and you actually stop him?
I don't know. I think she's still going to end up with Zack because they're both now in they're both now in little pocket universes, and we know that Tetsuo Nomura just loves Zack so much. He adores Zack as a character. And so I think he really wants them to end up together. And also, as much as I love Cloud and Aerith, I do think that Cloud should end up with Tifa in the end.
I mean, yeah, they've already written all that stuff behind it. It already works better.
Yeah, it's just I think that for storyline wise, he has to be going like because I think part of it, as sad as it is also like the part of him that thinks he's Zach, and that's part of like the sadness of it all. But again, not to make this entire podcast about Final Fantasy
We
VII,
are making it about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Because I could talk about any Final Fantasy game, honestly.
Final Fantasy 14.
I actually bought the game.
I've been waiting for you, man.
I know. I haven't started it. Audience, I'm really bad at MMOs. Like, just like the commitment to an MMO is really hard on me. I'm just one of my friends is actually playing Final Fantasy right now. I just saw it pop up on my screen.
There you go. Jamal, I think, has it.
Yes.
Is it
I haven't
downloaded?
started it. No. Well, it was, but we haven't played it, so I undownloaded it.
Smart, because it takes up some space.
Takes up some space.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of space.
But yeah, I have it ready on like 2 devices.
I'm trying to decide what class I want to be. I don't know if I want to be a summoner or if I want to be a dragoon.
Don't know. Dragoons are cool.
I've heard my brother has told me that dragoons are floor tanks in the way that they're just always dead.
Oh. Okay.
I was like, that sounds like
summoner. Then I'm a red mage or something. I can just use every spell. Black mage?
I thought you'd be like a black mage or a blue mage.
No, you can switch your class whenever you want.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't even know what I am, to be honest with you. I think I am a black mage.
Black mages are so
Emphasis on black.
Yeah. See, I was going to be a black mage.
Right, then I gotta switch it.
It is so weird when you're playing Final Fantasy 9, which is like people play that game. It changes your life. Like Final Fantasy 9 is so good.
Changes who you are.
It's a game about like facing your mortality and accepting that you need to love the time that you're given. I played it as a kid and like did not get it, and I hated it, and I stopped playing it because I was like, this isn't Cloud.
I'm gonna live forever. I don't know.
Well, and then I played it. I fully played it through during COVID, and it was like beautiful. Like I cried at the end of Final Fantasy 9. Like,
it's a great game, underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. But going off the point, like with the black mages, they're like a race of people.
Yeah, they're literally.
And yeah, there's some insults that some people say towards the black mages. You're like, oh.
Out of context, it's kind of rough.
This is not. Oh.
And they're so dark, you can't see them in their hoods.
Yeah, they just have like glowing eyes.
Oh, that's their skin color?
We don't know.
Oh, I was about to say.
Remember, we saw them in the early games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their skin tone.
I don't know. Because in the game, they're like,
Black.
I don't want to say genetically created because they're not using genetic stuff. They're using more like magic stuff.
Yeah.
But they're magically created super weapon race. But some of them start to break free of their mind control and their instincts to kill, and they start to form like their own society. So you see like some black mages that are like, I don't want to kill, and they become like pacifists because they're like, I believe I was made for something better. And then you have like Black Waltz, who's like feels like he's the villain of like an anime arc with how long he's around. It was just like an absolute psychopath. Like he's given in to his like urge to kill. And yeah, oh my gosh, they were gonna make a TV show of it, and I was like,
I don't know what's happening.
This would be the best one to adapt into a TV show.
We'll see what they do.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on anymore.
But before we continue, I forgot to say.
But yes,
let's do a check-in. Here, Josh, you want to go first? Tell us how your week has been.
Pretty good. We had a very good Thanksgiving. It was very nice. Yeah, it was just my parents, my brothers, and Abby, and it was really nice. It was like I needed it so bad. Me and John have been playing. Let me see, Riftbound.
Okay. Wow, there's a whole box. What is that?
Yeah, it's really nice. I wish other card games did this, but it comes with like 4 decks and like everything you need to play. I also got a Yasuo deck, of course.
Yeah, if we had friends, we'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but
If I had,
wow.
if I had people here in New Mexico to talk
It's a
to.
very fun game. I love how like the closer you get to winning, the harder it becomes to win. So you
Okay.
can't really like steamroll a game. Like the closer you get,
It always kind of comes close.
because John was super close to winning the entire time, and then me and Rob kept like shutting him down. It was ridiculous. It was a crazy game. It was amazing.
That's good.
So that was a lot of fun. Trying to think of anything else. I started a new horror webtoons. I don't know if you guys like webtoons.
Webtoons, yeah.
I do.
I
From
started a
South
new
Korea.
horror one. Yeah, I started a new horror one that's called Stagtown. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Um, I like that the main characters are like smart. Like when there's horror situations, so it makes the horror monsters so much more terrifying because they're capable of being a threat instead of like all the main characters being so dumb that you're like, I mean, a fifth grader could beat these guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Just
Are you
lots
smarter
of
than a
reading.
fifth grader?
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of reading, I just have to throw this in there before I forget. You know the Will of the Many by James Islington, who we talked about before. I went to Barnes and Noble yesterday, and the new book just came out.
Is it?
I saw it on the desk, so I downloaded it immediately. And I'm foregoing everything else I'm doing. I will go back to that series later, and I'm going to read that book.
You just gave up on the series?
No, it's a trilogy.
Right.
I guess a series. I'm going to postpone it.
Oh.
There are certain books. There are certain books. Like for me, for the longest time, Tom knew this. If a Brandon Sanderson book or a Horus Heresy book came out, I stopped everything I was doing. I would just stop in the middle of a book and be like, listen. But now Horus Heresy's over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, aren't they supposed to have like another series that went alongside of it? That does,
yeah,
like
they're gonna do the
What
they're gonna
is
do
it
the
called?
scouring.
The Scouring.
They've already done like which as soon like right now they're doing like books that are kind of like dancing around the scouring, and I'm like, okay, give me
This
the
is the
scouring
series.
and I'll start reading it. I
There
don't
you
really
go.
want to hear about like what was Jimmy Bob doing during the Ishtavan massacre. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys already wrote too many Ishtavan massacre books and they were all bad.
What have you been reading then?
Me at this moment, so I have been reading All the Fiends in Hell. I just started it.
Okay.
I think that's the correct name. I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong.
Your language, Josh.
Watch
Oh,
it.
I know. I
You mean in
know.
heck?
Yeah, All the Fiends of Heck. That's what it's called. It's actually a sci-fi book.
Well, that's cool.
It's about like
Speaking of.
it's like on Earth and like the sky turns like blood red and these aliens come down and start taking people
Oh, wow.
and like but so it feels very like biblical and like and the aliens are horrific. I haven't seen them yet, but the way they're building them up, I'm like, oh.
I've been wanting to read because I always read fantasy, just because that's the way I've always been, and also partially because of you.
Yeah, I
Getting
read a
into
lot of
things.
fantasy.
But I've been wanting to read this. I don't know if you've read it. It's the Sun Eater series by Christopher
I've read the first book.
Rocio.
Yeah, I've read the first book. It's excellent. It's kind of like a spiritual successor to Dune, I think is the best way.
Okay. Well,
And
Dune
it's
was excellent at the beginning too. So
yeah, it's a nice transition to sci-fi because it still has a lot of those fantasy elements. The best way I can say it's if King Killer Chronicles and Dune had a baby.
King Killer Chronicles and Dune. Dang.
Yes, because it's told in the similar style of the main character saying, "This is my life. I've been
Poor
accused
things are
of all
wrong.
these crimes.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the true story."
Yeah, I read on the back like billions died. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
the
heck?
book opens up and it's like, all right, So yes, I killed a lot of people.
Here's why
But
I
let
did
me.
it.
This is what actually happened. Like he pretty much totally goes like, "Yeah, I'm guilty of every crime you've accused me of, but here's my reasoning behind everything." And you're like, "Oh wow, okay."
Mm.
I need to read the second book. It was
They're
good.
messing with the economy. It was their fault. Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like,
It's,
you killed millions. Listen, hear me
Okay.
out. No.
I definitely did, but here's the reasoning. I think you might flip sides by the end of it.
Oh, that was a really good book. I mean, story.
That was a really good story. You know what? But yeah. Oh, Jamal,
What's up?
please check in.
My week was pretty good. I was out and about this week.
Indeed,
Got invited to a few Thanksgivings,
that's good.
which was awesome. I feel like I love seeing like different cultures and different people have Thanksgiving. That isn't just eating ham and dressing. It's like,
Some of us eat turkey.
yeah, well,
Turkey's good too.
turkey's all right.
Okay.
But it's good. I prefer ham over turkey, but it's good to see like different cultures have their food and different people eat. Because it's not just Thanksgiving just doesn't have to be one thing or the other. That was cool. But yeah, I got to get out, touch grass always. So I enjoyed that.
Okay.
But what did you eat for Thanksgiving though?
Me?
Yeah,
Thanksgiving dinner, probably.
Oh, I had roasted turkey.
Good.
I had mashed potatoes,
Mm,
Good.
green beans,
there you
There you
go.
go.
those rolls that my mom makes.
Dang it! I forgot the rolls. That's what I was missing.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah. Then my family had chocolate cake. I didn't really want chocolate cake. I was kind of like,
Oh.
I'm done.
Done eating.
I had like a whole bunch of Long Island iced tea, and no one wanted to drink it with me.
Bro, it's
Oh,
your
no.
Thanksgiving. Why are you drinking the Long Island?
Well,
Ice?
everyone else was having wine, and I was like, I don't want to be left out. So I like made it. I used the mixing machine and made like a bunch of Long Island iced tea, and no one
You just drink it all
wanted to
yourself.
share it with me. So I drank it all myself.
Oh
I was
my
very
gosh,
cheerful by the end.
Josh.
Lucky.
I kept because I thought like my dad was like, I want to try it sometime, and then I like brought it over, and he's like, but not tonight, and I was like,
Sometimes doesn't mean now.
and then like Rob and John were acting like it was poison, and I was like, it is technically, but come on.
Oh, come on.
Rob at least tried it. Rob was like, he tried it. And he was like, oh, yeah, I can see why you do what you do.
You can finish it.
Yeah, that's basically how it went.
Well,
And you know, Abby would have, but she can't. So
Yeah.
I mean, she could, but it'd be a very poor choice.
yeah, it would be a bad choice.
So they say.
That kid comes out it's just like, man, you have some good taste. Just completely makes him a genius. Could happen.
The government's been lying to us.
I mean,
The exact opposite. We gotta convince these women to stop drinking, so we can control everything. My week, you ask?
Yes, yeah. Oh, okay.
There you go. I had Thanksgiving here. I didn't want to go out to somebody else's place. I think of Thanksgiving as a family time, and I have no family here. So I am my own family. So I made Thanksgiving dinner. It took me a while to cook the ham. Jamal went with me to get like 50 sides. And man, we were worried because we were getting these cheap sides.
Yeah.
They're either good or bad, but man, they were good.
So good.
Okay,
So
nice.
And they were pre-made sides, everything from the mashed potatoes. I haven't tried the macaroni and cheese yet, though.
Macaroni and potatoes is
Or
good.
the
My
stuffing.
favorite was the mashed potatoes.
You eat the stuffing?
Were you at least like able to Skype your mom?
I
say
did talk to
Skype.
my mom. Yeah, while I was right after I finished making the ham,
Okay.
and then while we watched most of, I think it was Happy Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ate that. It was good. Yeah. I don't really know. It's not much. Stephanie came over. He came back eventually, like later that night.
Yeah,
I
After going to
watched
5 Thanksgivings.
three.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do miss, like being at my aunt's house and then we walked around to other people's places. Hey, have any more? And other than that, yeah, we watched 3 movies.
Oh,
Cars.
movies?
She hadn't seen Cars
Oh.
before.
What?
Yeah, I know. We watched Cars, then we watched Pirates of the Caribbean. My bad.
Okay. I
Curse
was
of the
like,
Black
whoa.
Pearl.
Okay. I was about to get mad. You know my thoughts on
Apple.
the second one.
Yeah, that's his favorite. That's their favorite one because it ends with Barbosa like, "Where's my ship?" He bites an apple. Ah,
Yeah. Now, I 3 has grown on me,
3 is
but
actually pretty good.
2.
Oh, and then the third movie we watched was the first Harry
No.
Potter.
Okay,
Is
that's
3
good.
the one with Blackbeard? Or
No,
no,
that's
No,
four.
that's the 4th
Oh,
one.
that's the 4th one. Oh, okay.
I don't know why I said that like I'm a fan. I'm not.
That's his least favorite one. I
Yeah,
think.
that one's pretty bad.
Yeah,
That one's pretty
I
bad.
liked it. I don't know, man.
I enjoyed
Not
the
trash,
5th
it's
one
good.
over the 4th one because at least like the 5th one felt like it was part of the
I guess
series. What with like the kid of
of William Turner.
yeah,
and
that at least felt like
the
it was
daughter of
part. Yeah,
Barbosa.
yeah, that was
Spoiler
weird.
alert.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the movie's ruined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's
at
such
the
a
same
good
time,
movie.
I didn't like how Captain Jack would like half senile, and then all of a sudden he's like,
Yeah.
"Just kidding, I'm my normal self." I'm like, "Bro, why are you dumb?" I don't know.
It was definitely the most like caricature-ish
Just gonna keep
he's
calling
ever
Yes.
been. Yeah,
Yeah.
he kind of became a caricature of himself instead of being like the nuanced, interesting character. Because the fun thing about the first movie is that Captain Jack Sparrow is, you can tell he's always calculating his next move.
Yeah,
And if it means looking like an idiot, he will 100% do it.
yeah. Well, in the 5th movie, like he was half
Yeah.
senile, and he like was forgetting things, and like, but then all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna fight now, haha.
To be fair, enough rum will do that to you.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, he's supposed to be older, but
Audience, I'm sorry. This is what happens when you get 3 ADHD men trying to do a podcast. We don't know where we are.
Yeah, this is the podcast.
Just confusion.
Okay. There is
You
no
never know
mean
what
things.
we're gonna talk about. What did you eat, Jamal? And then we'll move on.
Oh, I had so at one place I had like dressing and everything. The other place I had like pozole and like
Crazy. You get pozole for
like
Thanksgiving.
red chili, this and that, and it was cool. It was good. I never had like potatoes with red chili.
Heresy.
I know, but it was actually really good. I loved
I
it.
bet it
Then we
was.
had
That
like some
sounds
sweet potato chips that were like topped with feta cheese. I'm gonna make that because that was probably one of the
I don't
best
remember the
things
Pilgrims
I
eating that.
ever had. I don't know.
This sounds like a Super Bowl, not
It was so good. It was like
It was
fantastic.
topped with feta cheese.
Feta cheese and like basil, and it was so good. I'm talking about
To be fair, no
fantastic.
matter what culture you come from, you have something to be thankful for. So Thanksgiving belongs to everyone. Anyway,
Except for the Indians.
Yeah,
They're thankful for the free land they now have and can put their speed limits 15 miles per hour out of nowhere.
Terrible. Freaking terrible. Before we get into this Western civilization thing,
Speaking
Okay,
of Western
all right.
civilization,
speaking of the Trail of Tina.
oh my gosh.
while we're leading
Andrew
with
Jackson, my favorite, my ghost.
I have a question for I have
okay,
a question for both of y'all. This
All
is
right.
before we get into that.
Please.
But I had this thought, and so bear with me for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
Okay,
a reason why
I'm a
this
bear.
question pops up.
Okay.
The first question is: do you think that,
No.
besides like medical conditions and mental illnesses, that people have the same like capacity to learn something? And if not, why do you think that is not?
okay.
You
So,
waiting for an answer? Are you gonna lay them both out or just one at a time?
That
do you
is,
think
like,
people are, just so I understand the question?
Mhm.
Do you think people of today are capable of learning as well with all the stuff we have going on as compared to people of the past?
No. So
Just
like
compared to your peers,
if you take
anybody.
two like two people born same time, minus like mental illnesses and whatnot, do you think those same two people have the same capability of learning things to
No.
like that peak? And
Same
why
mental
not?
ceiling, intelligence thing. Yeah.
Well, because learning is such a broad thing. Like, I absorb history and literature like a psychopath, but if you put me in front of a chemistry set, I'll blow us all up. I'll enjoy it. I love chemistry, but like, just like the thing that I take to, like a fish to water, is not those things. And like Dom is, you guys are both so much better at math than I am. I'm not bad at math, but like, you guys take to math better than I do. Um, so there's certain things that people warm to. Like, I love philosophy, I love history, I love literature, but uh, there's other things I'm not so great at. And that's not because I'm stupid. I don't think there's anyone in this conversation that's stupid. Maybe my cats. My cats are pretty stupid,
Yeah, they're dumb.
They can open the doors.
but they
That's
can't
true.
open
They
the
can't
door.
open the
Yeah,
doors.
yeah, better than I can.
That's the
No,
top of their.
but no, I don't think people have the same capability to learn. They have different ones. And that's why it's so important for teachers to be the best they can be.
Hmm.
I mean,
They
I
are
think that's why
important.
we have a lot of issues in the United States, especially because we've turned teaching into teaching factory workers, of going like, hey, you will work from this time to this time. Well, not
Yes.
everyone works. We as human beings all have times that we're the most productive. We also have people who are more um, morning oriented. We have people who are more afternoon oriented. We have people who are night owls. And I'm not saying that we don't work to reprogram ourselves. Like, we probably don't need as many night owl people as we did during like hunter gatherer times, because we don't need to worry about a bear coming out of the night and being like, "Ah, I'm going to eat you all."
Good
Uh,
luck.
but um, so there's that. But we all have different skills and different learning ceilings and different abilities. Like, and I think sometimes we want to try to say that it's unfair and that we need to make sure that everyone has the same outcome. But the same outcome is impossible. Like, I would never be the mathematician that you or Jamal would be. I could still become a mathematician, and with a lot of hard work, I could be successful, I think, but I wouldn't take to it like you guys would.
Right.
I just wouldn't. That's not it. That's not a bad thing towards me. Or like, if you put me and Michael Jordan together, he's gonna beat me in basketball, probably even now. Uh, like, and that's not like a it's a fact, but I probably know a little bit more about philosophy than Michael Jordan. I could be wrong. Maybe he's like an expert and no one
He's
knew it.
just an
He's just
expert.
a
Yeah.
he's just the jack of all trades.
He might, who knows?
Um, if
Cigars.
anyone was, it would be him.
Sure.
Um, hey, he
Put
was
Bundy
in
in it. I feel like
he was
together.
in Space
Space
Jam.
Jam.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
love that movie,
It's so funny.
The Monstars. Uh, so yeah, that's my long-winded answer to. I don't think anybody is equal in learning, but I do think that like there's different stats in learning. Like, when you're statting your video game character, like, eh, Dom may have a higher stat in this area, but a lower stat in this area. Even though Dom is a 9 out of 10 in the eyes of God.
Not out of 10.
but
That's
yeah, no, it's more of a stat thing, I think, than a just pure one level of like um, who's better at learning, who's not.
well. I don't disagree with what Josh said. I want to add on to it though, because from what you asked,
Mhm.
because he was right. People learn in different ways. They may be more visually oriented. They may be numbers oriented, whatever the case may be. I think your question was going towards like do they have the same mental ceiling? Will
Right.
this person be as smart as this individual? And I think with enough hard work, people that are close enough could probably equal like a genius if you're like a lesser genius, I guess. But the people who minus mental deficiencies and all that, like you
Yeah.
said, like let's say Sir Isaac Newton is likely always going to be smarter than the average Joe, despite the level of hard work, just because the way his mind is wired towards
Yep.
the sciences. Now, could that person still discover something amazing? Of course, but it kind of went to the talent thing. If you put your hard work towards your capabilities,
Yeah.
then you're going to excel more than those who might even want it just as much as you, but don't have that specific skill set to that level.
Yeah.
And I think you also
I-
have to take into account. Sorry, I interrupted the.
Please, I just wanted to
hell
make it
out
seem
of
like
you.
you interrupted. I just said,
Oh,
I
okay,
didn't have
yeah.
anything else to say.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, there are plenty of really, really intelligent people who just don't think it's worth it. Because in order to get to the point where a lot of these super smart people are, the level of sacrifice you have to make
Mhm.
is insane. It's kind of like the millionaire billionaire argument. I am slowly becoming one of those people who think that almost anyone could become a millionaire or billionaire if you were willing to put in the work. I mean, look at many millionaires and billionaires. Their lives, their personal lives are a
Suck.
mess.
Yeah.
It's because they took everything and sacrificed it at the altar of success. And I'm not saying they're bad for doing that, but it is a choice. And many people don't want to sacrifice
Yeah.
a loving family, kids, time at home, um, leisure time, just so they can see a magical scoreboard number go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on who you are. And I think it's the same with you know, Einstein had to give up a lot to do what he did too. Like
That's
he had to
true.
sacrifice so much time and like personal life stuff to do what he did. It's just a matter of what you want to give
Yeah.
for a goal.
And I think along with that, the brain is like a muscle in a way.
Mhm.
That's the same way, like if you were to take an IQ test, they say that you should study, like get your mind ready for that sort of thing beforehand.
Yeah.
Like I think if I've learned the material, if I were to sit in front of like not even a math test, just like a bunch of material that I learned in college me could do it better than current me could because I haven't done it in so long. Now, I'm probably just as smart as I was then, but I would have to go over my mind. What were these formulas? How did I do this
Yeah.
work? And even if I knew the formula stuff, I was used to doing certain things a certain
I've had
way.
to do that. I've had to do that at school when kids come up and go like, "How do I do this math problem?" I'm like,
God dang, cosine.
"Oh wow!" Like having to like dig into my
Yeah.
brain. Um,
Yeah.
there's a study that actually I think I don't remember the name of the study, but it was after like COVID. There we go, canceled again. The
Coronavirus.
that talked about how humans were losing a lot of the skills to feel empathy
Hmm.
because we weren't using it as much. We were spending so much time in front of a screen or in front of, just away from people that we weren't practicing that quote unquote muscle in our brain. Kind of like you were talking about. So I think it is the same with like critical thinking, anything. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I think constant, and that kind of goes to what you were talking about. You have to dedicate yourself. If you want to stay at the top of your mental game, technically, we should all be doing like certain number of hours of studying a day just to keep our minds focused on whatever it is we want to do.
Yeah.
And I've yet to meet anybody in my personal circle who wants to dedicate hours of every day of their life just to stay sharp.
I highly suggest when you're driving to a place or going somewhere, listen to like a philosophy book or a historical text because that's a great way to like use your brain without like having to hold still. Because I think that's
Yeah.
what for me, holding still is the tough part.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it's another failing of our school system. I say this as someone who works in the school system. I love
Ooh.
the public school system. I'm a firm believer that it keeps it gives people better chances, because if we didn't have a
True.
public school system, I think that it just encourages the rich to become more successful and the poor to become less successful, because
Trapped.
then the rich can always pay for better education and the poor are stuck. So we need that public school system. I'm a firm believer in the public school system. It needs a lot of fixing. But I think part of the problem is that we're not teaching kids to love to learn. We're teaching them to memorize things.
Yeah.
For their tests.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be teaching kids to take tests. Tests need to exist to help them learn, not we're learning so we can take tests. Like we have it all
Mm,
backwards.
I like that.
What about you, Jamal?
Well, yeah. So this question came up because it started off with math,
Okay.
and I went to school for math, and everyone asked me like, "What are you gonna do?" And they're like, "You're gonna be a teacher." I was like, "Absolutely not," because I can't teach math. I love math. I'm so passionate about math that if someone can't understand it,
It's confusing.
it makes me upset. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you not understand this?
Yeah.
And what made me think about this question was I was talking to someone else, and they were like, if two people are in a room together and you put up an equation like 3x equals 12, right? And you explain it to them, you break it down, you go through all the things. How is it that one person, if you're learning at the same time, can grasp this information way much faster or better than
Yeah.
the other person? And they're learning at the exact same rate. They're learning it same ways, different styles, but one person can learn it way better than the other person. I just can't fathom it. I know that the brain is different,
Wired different. Yeah.
but it's just can't fathom that I'm telling you I'm breaking it down different ways and you still can't get it, but they can. But it also, that one was what started the conversation, but then it branched out to like IQ, because we were talking about how different people have different IQs and how the IQ test is so like, I believe that IQ test is kind of iffy because
It
it
is.
shows
It
how
actually
smart you
is.
are in this moment, but it
This
doesn't show
moment.
how you are later.
Exactly.
And also it's so fixated because not fixated. It's so different because
Fickle.
yes, one person can have all the information, but who's to say that this other person is as smart? They just probably weren't brought or weren't aware of the same things that you were. Like y'all two are way smarter than me at Final Fantasy.
But
Because I haven't like
What a great
I
thing.
wasn't. I'm just trying to like
No,
compare
it's
that's
stuff.
what I was getting at too. Yeah, I think exactly what you said. It also kind of builds upon your previous experiences.
Yes.
So it's even more than your IQ. It's if you're used to doing this sort of thing, like you and I probably, well, one, we like math in the first place.
Yeah.
But if you're used to doing this certain thing, even if this person's just as smart as you, they might
Yeah.
not be used to solving this kind of equations. We've done it 1,000
Yeah.
times. So,
But
yeah.
who's to say that if you don't teach that person, like I said, y'all are way smarter than me at Final Fantasy.
If you
But
say
who's to say that like if I was
Genius.
brought up into it and I like sat down and actually like I know like from where I started to where I am now, I still don't know as much as y'all, but I know like different classes, I know different abilities, but I didn't know that information years ago, months ago even. Like my IQ for that specific thing got higher just because I was made aware of those different things.
Yeah.
Which then brought me, that IQ thing also brought me to a different question, which was because you talked about empathy, or was it you talked about
You talked
empathy?
about empathy.
And it was saying that like, okay, well, if you're so smart, then why do humans interact the way we do, right? Because when we smile, when we laugh, why do we smile when we laugh? Like that was the question that popped up because we're doing it to show that the other person, like it's for the other person, it's not for us. Because I could laugh and I could be like, huh, and I might think that's the most hilarious thing ever, but because I'm not showing it facially, like my grin is in a specific way. For you, it might show
Yeah.
disrespect, or it might show that you don't care. You know what I mean?
Probably a
Like,
mix.
why do humans do the things we do for other people, for their benefit instead of
Yeah.
ours?
It's probably a mix of learned experiences, but also like babies laugh just as much too.
It's so
And they don't know.
contagious.
They're not trying to be like, no, this person will show it. Eventually they do because they
Yeah.
learn certain things, but they'll laugh just to laugh. Well, adults.
Well, we are pack animals. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, we are creatures that need social stuff. There is also emotional intelligence, which is an entire other like
Yeah.
level. The like having high emotional
What's your emotional
intelligence
IQ?
is
Yeah.
very important. I mean, we see a lot of people are more successful when they have high emotional intelligence because it means that they tend to be very good leaders. They tend to be very good at uh, at getting people to work together because they understand people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm glad you
networking.
said that, Josh, because there seems to be this idea, and maybe people can agree with it. Maybe you guys agree with it, but I completely disagree that it has to be set in stone. There's this idea that people with high IQs, or the more intelligence you gain, the less empathy you have, because your mind starts to focus on like realities of situations and like calculations and like if thens versus
It's a Hollywood trope.
Yeah, and I've seen it in some cases, and I'm not saying like somebody can be like everyone's gonna be like, oh, you're the smartest person in the world, like Batman, but you're also like Batman. You have a bunch of sons, and you can understand. Like, I'm not saying you have the highest intelligence, but also the highest emotional blah blah blah. And maybe it will depend on the person, but I think it's just that it kind of depends on the person.
Yeah.
But I think
Absolutely.
I'm reasonably smart, but I'd never say I don't have empathy.
No.
I think
No.
I'd probably
think-
have more empathy than smarts, if I'm being completely honest. In fact, I think it's probably better to lean in that direction versus.
I agree.
How many
agree,
people on the
'cause-
railroad track for?
I feel like it'd be kind of hard to like be in the industry that we've grown up in if we didn't have empathy.
Yeah,
Like
you
like,
see
this
some
is one of the
people
most empathetic.
very
Mm.
successful that don't seem to have as much empathy, and they're successful in like the business end, but you can tell certain people don't want to work with other people
Yeah.
in the industry because they don't have that level of empathy towards others. Like they'll show up to sets late or they won't learn their lines, and that's a different situation for some
I
people.
will.
But
I use this example, and you guys have heard me use this example. Yes, I am the example guy. I'm sorry, audience.
okay,
um, uh, Chris Pratt is not the best actor. I think he's good, but he's not the best actor like
It's a
that
diss
we've
towards
ever
Chris
seen.
Pratt.
Yeah,
That's what
like
it is,
he's not like who's the guy who played Batman and Batman Begins and all that stuff?
Christian Bale,
Christian Bale. Like Christian Bale is, I think we can agree,
he's
an
top tier.
incredibly talented actor.
He's good.
More like technically skilled than Chris Pratt. But Chris Pratt is so great to work with and he's so emotionally intelligent that he keeps getting roles because people are like, this guy's great to work with.
Yeah,
He's fun to work with. And
Yeah.
Christian Bale is not. No offense to either of you if you just happen to watch this. You're both
Yeah.
incredibly skilled.
Christian Bale also is known for being very intense, and he doesn't want to hurt people's feelings, but he's very passionate. Not to say Chris
Mhm.
Pratt isn't, but
Yeah, no,
it's
but
a different personality traits. I can't wait to just find out what kind of person I am. If something goes wrong in the set, what are you doing in my lights?
well, me and Jamal, I mean, we saw that a lot. Like when
Yeah.
we
Oh,
were
really?
in shows together, there's certain actors that like before a show, they just become horrible to be around. Where my goal was always to be easy to be around. And it actually did get me parts. Like not saying that I'm as fun to be around as Chris Pratt. I'm
Yeah,
not
he touched
saying
his
that.
nose.
But I I know for a fact I got cast in some roles just because people really enjoyed being around me and they were like, "Hey, I'd like to do this with Josh because
Yeah.
he's fun to be around." I know Jamal got that too. We
Yeah,
talked about it
I
once.
got asked to be put in shows because people like me, but not because I was acting with them, just because they liked me.
Yeah, well,
Little do they know I'm a nightmare when it comes to acting.
And-
Remember when we did Graveyard? And this is how I feel like a lot of my performances go. But I try to make rehearsals so much fun, like as fun as possible, because once tech week comes, it's business.
terrible.
And
Yeah.
so, like, there are some times where we're walking around and it's just me and Josh, and I'm trying to make him crack so hard. Like, I'm trying to make him break character and everything, but like, not being all like, just like little facial goons and whatnot. But once Tech Week comes, it's like, boom. Like, he
Yeah,
can
that's when
vouch
you
his
lock in.
business. It's
Yeah.
like, doom.
Yeah.
But have fun. Like,
Yeah, it's
enjoy your
that's
crew.
a
Yes.
Learn your crew.
a difficult thing, though. I think a lot of people, especially once you get higher up in the industry, so much money is on the line.
You don't
And
want to waste time, man.
in some cases, careers are on the line. Or if you feel like if you're not taking it serious enough, then you would have failed. Or even if the movie is a success, you're like, how much more of a success if we had done it under budget, if we had taken it more seriously. But I
Yeah.
feel like there's more chance of these people coming together and doing well multiple times in a row, especially like a series,
Mhm.
if they like working together.
Facts.
Like, I don't know if at one point, if you have enough money, if you just hate working on the film, at what point do you say, like, I quit? Like, yeah, the money's good and the films are great, but it's just draining me to even be here in the reading, let alone months on this set dealing with you screaming at me.
Well, the industry, I think, has become this place where you can get around it sometimes. Like, for example, this is like really black, so bear with me. But there's a
Okay.
show called Martin. And in the show, the two main people, Martin
There
and
was a show called.
there was a show called Martin.
Yeah.
The two main people were married, like they were in a relationship, but the last season they were never ever like in a scene
same-
together in
yeah.
like the same room. But they made it like where you like couldn't tell or like, oh, someone was doing this or that. And I mean, they had like their own personal things going on, like people were suing each other, whatever. But I think now that was back then, like the 90s, early 2000s. I'm sure now they have
was a good show.
different, they have like CGI. There's so many different ways to get around being in the same
Yeah.
area with someone.
Well, that happened in Game of Thrones too. The
Oh,
the actress who played
Oh.
Cersei,
Yeah, you told
and
me that,
the
Josh.
actor who played Bronn. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were in a really messy relationship, and so they had to work hard to keep them from seeing each other.
Yeah, and this new Stranger Things season, the person who plays 11, Millie Bobby Brown, like she filed like an injunction against David Harbour or whatever his name is. For official
Really?
harassment claims. And they still showed up on the
What?
red carpet with each other and smiling, but like she filed an official complaint against him for harassment.
Whoa.
Like, being
Wow,
mean- yeah, being
I hadn't
mean to
heard
her.
that.
And but they seem fine on the red carpet, but it just shows like
Yeah, no.
if
That's
things
what-
do happen, you should try to be professional and like get through it.
Yeah.
But it's always, I don't ever want, I'd rather people complain that I was too goofy or like I tried to have too much fun on the set and had to be reeled back into more serious
Mhm.
than I was too serious and just made filming hell
Yeah.
for these people.
Terrible.
Because, like you said, like in stage, you have the tech week. And it's a little better, maybe we'll see. Because it's like tech week, it's a week.
Yeah.
And you either get it down or you have some problems when you start the shows.
Yeah.
Versus on film, like you're always doing tech. And they're always doing stuff in the background and you come to expect it, but you get used to it over months.
Well, the way I feel like is for film is when you're not on camera, try to bond with your craft.
Yeah, talk
like,
to these people.
You go over lines, you like
Oh
in
my
makeup,
gosh.
go just like
That's not what I'm looking for. Those method
Communicate.
actors who won't talk to you because they're too much in character.
oh yeah.
Like, no.
I think. Go ahead.
I saw this interview, kind of like a documentary thing with the dude. I'm blanking. I'm terrible with names. The dude who played Grinch, Jim.
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
Yeah, but he was in this. I think it's like Ace Ventura movie, and he's like a huge method
detective.
actor apparently. And
Yeah.
when he was doing that movie, like he had to be. Oh, he was doing The Mask, I think, and he had to be like.
In that zone.
Yeah, and everyone was like, they were having fun, but it was kind of weird at times because they were like, it's just too much. Like, I don't know. People go out their way. Like, if you're a drug addict, some people get
Yeah.
so methic, they're like,
I mean, if
I
it
gotta
gets your
do-
performance good, that's
I
fine.
gotta do
but-
some crack in order to figure out what it's
Oh
like
my
to be on
gosh.
drugs or whatever. It's like, okay, you're doing too much.
That's not necessary. Yeah.
I think it's more important in film to bond with those people because
Yeah.
when you act together on stage, you kind of naturally start to form a bond with this person that you're suffering with. Like you're like, we're both wearing heavy
Yeah.
costumes. We're burning up. We've had to do late hour rehearsals.
Yes.
At
So
least in college shows, you know it's not going to go on forever. You're not doing your Broadway like
yeah,
52 weeks, 4 days a week,
yeah. Poor
but you
Jamal.
still suffer through it.
I know.
Jamal did his. He, according to you, you didn't really get to hang out with these people a whole bunch.
No, I did, but it was more so like that last 6 months. I was
Oh yeah, you were burnt out.
just ready to go.
Yeah. Where are you, Jamal? I'm still in my room.
Just tired. Just wanted to lay my head down somewhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of working together,
What are we working on?
we are talking about Western culture.
There we go.
Ooh.
That's in.
Yeah. No. Buckle up for a long one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The Western culture is such a weird thing because I'm going to give my definition of Western culture, and then you guys can tell me what you think.
Okay.
I don't think Western culture is actually Western. That's how I'm going to start this
Yeah, it is.
episode.
I agree
This
with you.
Quite the
50-minute
blanket term.
intro. Yeah, because what I consider Western culture is you had a Middle Eastern religion slam into Western philosophy.
Okay.
And from there it exploded. And yes, it did take off in the West. But I mean, I wouldn't really consider that just Western culture because that's ignoring its roots and where it came from. Because we had Christianity rise and it slammed into the Greeks. And the Greeks were quite the thinkers. And from there, that collision created a chain reaction that created, I think, I don't think it's even a debate, the most powerful culture that's ever existed. You can hate Western culture, you can love Western culture, but you cannot deny its impact on the world.
Yes.
Fair.
And so my definition is it's Christianity merged with Greek philosophy that then spread. And it spread because it was effective. Let's be honest here. If it was ineffective, it would not have spread.
True.
And you could argue that maybe it's because they conquered people. But, I mean, we've seen what happens when Western culture tries to conquer other cultures as a whole. They don't tend to adopt it, per se.
Yeah.
Like, let's take the second Gulf War. Not that we really did so much conquering, but we deposed a dude. They didn't really pick up Western culture. They were like, no.
Yeah, there were some people that argued we should have conquered.
Yeah, well,
But,
I mean,
it was Western culture at that point not to do so. So,
and I think like,
progress.
what are the tenets of Western culture? I think one is that there is, and this isn't all my original thinking. This is from a whole bunch of reading. I've been doing research for this one.
Okay.
That
Better
Western
than us.
culture recognizes that there's something innately divine about humans. Now, if you want to go from the Christian belief that it stems from the Christian belief, honestly, that humans were made in the image of God. So that means that each human holds innate value given to them by something outside of themselves. So now we're kind of tying back to the truth thing.
Yeah.
That there's just this ultimate truth that humans are valuable. Therefore, they deserve certain privileges
Yeah.
because they're human. Now, obviously, it's not perfect because Western culture did perpetuate a lot of horrible things. However, I would argue that Western culture is good because it allowed conversations to happen.
True.
In many Eastern countries, slavery is still going on.
Yeah.
Where if you look in the West, they started to have those conversations pretty early. It's sad that America was one of the last ones.
Yeah.
And I think it does say something about American culture, which is not exactly Western culture. We'll get to that later. But I mean, Britain, France, those countries, they started to have the slavery conversation pretty early.
Yeah.
So I think that's another important thing in Western culture that we can have those conversations. But anyway, so the first thing of Western culture is that there's this belief that humanity is valuable innately, not because of what they bring to the table, not because of um, not any utilitarian thing. It's they are just innately valuable. And then second, I think is that humans deserve the freedom to follow good. Now, this is a tough one because we as Americans do not get this. Freedom is not to do whatever the hell you want. And I know as Americans, we're going, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean? I'm an American. I can do whatever the hell I want. But think about it. The freedom to do whatever you want doesn't free you from the consequences.
Yeah.
If I decide to drink a crap ton of Long Island iced tea and then go for a drive, I am not going to be free from the consequences of killing someone by accident and then going to jail.
True.
Freedom at the end of the day is freedom to do the right thing according to your conscience. That's what Western culture's freedom is about. And we as Americans have lost that. And we say, you know, screw you, I should be able to do whatever the heck I want. And it's like, well, no, you should be free to follow your conscience
Yeah.
because you're not going to be free from the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, technically, I guess you are free to do whatever you want. Just know that you're also free to be an idiot, and there's consequences for being an idiot.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing in the world right now, especially the U.S., is people trying to undo those consequences.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what abortion is. Abortion is like one of the ultimate get out of jail free cards. Like, I mean, like, oh, I'm going to do all these things, and then I'm going to just fetus deletus, and then I'm scot free. Someone else's problem now. So I think that as Americans, we need to start coming back to a true idea of Western culture that we all have innate value, no matter who we are. Being an American doesn't give you more innate value than anyone else, because I think we're seeing a little bit of that right now. And two, our freedom is to follow our conscience and do good, not do whatever the heck we want. And then finally, three, we need to be given the chances to succeed, not handed success. You know, we should be given the tools to build something for ourselves, not just be handed the entire house.
Mm. Yeah. Self-determination rather than reliance on the system itself.
So I think Western culture is kind of built around those three pillars. I'm interested in what you guys think of that. I obviously think Western culture is a great thing, but I do believe that the U.S. is not truly Western culture. I think we're like an offshoot.
Okay.
And I can get into that after we talk about this if you guys want. But
Can?
what do you guys think? Do you think that do you think it's kind of built around those three things, or would you add more pillars?
I think it's. Okay. Let me just say I do agree with you that Western is a great thing that we have, right? Not just in America, but in the world. I do think that Americans have this notoriety of like we made it, this is ours, and we get to blossom with it. And I think it's a problem because we take it too far. I think that it's something that's happened and that it grew throughout the world. I think it's more of an uh, how do you say it, an improvement on society, I would say, than just going west and thinking of all the great things that have happened. I think it's just we've grown as a world so that people in India and China are blossoming just as we are over here. I do think because like I said, I do think it's a great thing, but I do think we take it too far because we have this junction of that we're the best, that we as Americans can do no wrong. And I think it goes to, you want to talk about religion. I think it's the sense of pressuring it onto somebody that it's Christianity is one of the biggest religion, is the biggest religion. But where it was pressured on everyone. And I'm a huge Christian. I'm always going to be a huge Christian. But there are some people who go and are pressured into going to church since out of the womb, and that's all they know. But they're not giving any chance to learn anything else or be brought into it themselves. I think that's a huge problem when you talk about religion. I think it's a huge problem when you talk about societal growth. That everything has to be this way, and that if it's not going this way, you're wrong. Kind of like the truth thing. I think that it's wrong because then what is it, right? Because I think that a lot of our truths come from a morality thing that we put on to other people and say this is the truth, and I don't like that because it's not it's not the truth. It's not what we're doing. It's not who are you to tell me that this is the way I have to go? If I think that slavery is the greatest thing ever, then who are you to say that I can't have slaves? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, slavery was a part of the world forever. And in some way, it's always going to be. It's just going to be worded differently.
Indentured servitude.
I mean, even think about people that work, right? We put a cap on it, but it's in the form is kind of a sense of slavery. Not saying that you're getting worked to death and you're getting, but people have there's chain of commands that go throughout the day. If you want to talk about American slavery, where it's like the white man is beating on all these different cultures and making them pick cotton or making them build something, then yeah, that's different from a boss who is making someone work hours and hours on end and doing all this stuff for a paycheck that may not seem right to somebody else. I think it's just brought out differently than
It's still exploitation.
It's very much exploitation. And yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Western, spreading it out, doing the things right. But I think it's wrong the way we're going about it, and that we're doing it too fast. I think we're going too fast that we don't know what's going to happen next.
I guess my question for you would be then, do you think exploitation is a part of Western culture, or do you think that's just part of humanity?
I think it's both. It's definitely a part of it, but it's definitely humanity, right? We're going to do it no matter what.
Because, I mean, every culture has exploited somebody. And I'm not saying that makes it okay. It's definitely not. But in Western culture, it's, as far as I know, the only culture where you can have the conversation of, hey, this exploitation is wrong. We need to find a way to fix it, make reparations, like make things better for those people that we exploited. Where, like, I guarantee you, and it's going to sound like I'm just bullying Sharia law here, which I guess I kind of am. But, like, in Sharia law, they're not saying, they're going like, oh, these women are being exploited.
Right.
They'd be like, tough luck. This is just how it is. And that's how it was under, pretty much before Western culture started. That's how it was. Like, too bad, so sad. Like, you lost this war, you're a slave now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Your
I
rights
agree.
don't matter.
I agree with it.
Well, I agree with it at some point because, like, no change can happen without something huge occurring, right?
Yeah.
Like, this wouldn't, Western, even America wouldn't happen unless people were like, all right, well, I got to fight for something.
For freedom.
For freedom.
We're being exploited by the crown.
I got to fight for something. It's going to take a lot of losses to get what you want. But I think that's just humanity at its core. It's We see something, we wanted it differently. Someone or a group of people are going to try to do something differently that someone else is going to like. And then just because it's the majority, they have the truth, and they get to make the rules. But who's to say that they're right? And that's the one thing I can't stand about this world.
And that is, I'm really going to piggyback off what you're saying when I get to American culture.
Yeah.
Because I do think there's a difference between Western culture and American culture now. I don't think that was always the case, but I think now. But I want to hear what Dom thinks about it, and then I'll go to it. But hold those thoughts, Jamal, because we're going to have a lot to talk about when we get to the American one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Western culture, like you said, Josh, is too blanket a term. It's not truly just the West. It's expanded across the entire globe. I think at its core, Western culture is just humanity's progress that stemmed from, like you said, religion. Christianity had a huge influence on it. But you could argue there was a Western culture before Christianity was introduced to the Greeks and all that. But really, yeah, it's Christianity mixed with an idea of self-determination. Like each of these individuals is worth something and their opinions are worth something. One due to the connection to the divine, one due to in the spirit of progress. Each individual had a different say towards one thing or another. And as the centuries have passed, I think that spirit's still around, this idea of progress. Now, a lot of it has been through any means necessary. Like you brought up forcing Christian religion. And as a Christian, I'm happy that people became Christian. Now,
we want it to be their choice.
Yeah, I want it to be their choice. Like,
oh,
you haven't converted fully yet. Whippings, like, but everybody has always done that. You can,
yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Muslim culture. You can say it towards when people, probably the polytheistic religions, like the Greek gods, Norse gods, like there were always been people. Yeah, the pagan religions, the heathen gods. The people have always tried to force it. It can be more subtle terms through constant messaging in the school systems. It could be through more forceful terms where, hey, you're going to be here every day, and if you just don't get it, and if you don't parrot these terms, you're going to be beaten. That sort of thing.
Social ostracization. I said that.
Yes.
All kinds of weird, but that is one of the most. Sorry, there's a bug. That is one of the most painful ways, like excluding you from society because you are not a certain way.
Exactly.
Is just a terrible thing to do.
Yeah, and and as time has gone on, if you're not part of this Western society, you're not part of society as you know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excuse me. And you talked about it being a different United States of America. I agree and I disagree because the United States is seen as the pinnacle of Western culture, really just because we're the most powerful and influential nation in the world. And the United States has always been built on this idea of, innovation. And we talked about before, it's built on it. I think it's not really laziness, but impatience.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at things like the internet so that we could send things quicker. When you look at things such as the interstate system, we didn't want to spend, weeks on the road and these different things on trains and all that. Western culture is also, what do you consider Western culture? Some people consider skyscrapers to be Western culture because they were invented by the West. If you look at republics, of course, you go back to the Greeks. You could argue a little bit before that with certain things, but really the Greeks are seen as the standard. Now the United States is seen as the standard for our very specific set of rules to govern the republic. And I still think the Constitution is probably the best.
Ancient Greek, the Greeks were more democratic, where the Romans brought in more republic stuff.
They brought it in more republic. Yeah. You could argue, sure, we're just gonna. I don't need.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I'm being nitpicky at this point.
Yeah, you can argue the Romans. You could argue the Romans weren't truly a republic once they stopped caring.
Oh, yeah, they definitely stopped being one.
Yeah,
they became an empire.
Behind the scenes, we're like, oh yeah, we all voted, right? Okay, sure.
With my knife pointed at you.
Yeah, exactly. But you could argue that nowadays too.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, you can argue in the House of Representatives, people make threats here and there.
Freedom is a fragile thing.
Yeah, and we talked about the freedom of we talked about freedom of speech, freedom of religion here, and I think, and you talk about you want it to be like the freedom to make your own decision, regardless of what is considered right by our current culture. You brought up slavery, which is seen as the most heinous thing ever, but at one point it wasn't.
It was nice.
It was. It was the norm.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, your tribe lost. Get to building, like that
Yeah.
sort of thing. And I'm glad we've gone in the direction we have, but it was forced upon people.
Yeah.
You talked about religion. Yeah, I'm glad people are Christian and Catholics and stuff now, but it was forced upon people. You want them to come to their own conclusions, which is, I mean, it is in the religion itself, you know?
Yeah.
It
It
is,
is.
but I just
It's
don't
in the
think
religion.
it's,
Jesus said the only way to the Father is through me, but you have to actually believe in it. If you just parrot whatever somebody says, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and God gave us freedom. This is my belief.
Yes.
God gave us freedom to choose Him.
But you can still be wrong.
Yeah,
and not choosing
absolutely.
him.
Yeah, no, because like it's like if you're marrying someone, you want them to have the choice to say no, or they didn't really choose you. You know, like
Yeah.
I wasn't holding Abby at gunpoint.
You made the right decision. Congratulations.
You know, when she said "I do," that was her choice. She could have said "I don't." Never mind. And same with me, but that's what showed our love for each other, that we chose each other willingly. And that's why freedom is so important.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why we can't take that freedom away from people. They need to be
Yeah,
able to
it's
choose that.
Western civilization. And you get to argue this for all of humanity, but specifically because the West essentially conquered the planet
It did.
and has brought progress, like I said, a lot of times through any means necessary. And people have always seen like you will, people mention Rome and the United States as like you will have progress, you will have the specific freedoms that we've given, which are huge in terms of, you know, human rights and stuff. But you will have it whether you like it or not. If you don't understand the progress we're going to make, we'll make you understand it. And it's
Yes.
definitely lessons. Like the West is responsible for, and we signed after World War II, we won't even interfere, at least not permanently, in the affairs of the Eastern Hemisphere. That's why we don't take colonies overseas and such anymore. And we don't really take colonies in the Western Hemisphere anymore. Despite throughout all of human history, if you were the most powerful nation in the world, you took over the next one and the next one and the next one. The United States could technically have taken over the world by now. But it is
very
current
well
Western
could've.
culture to stay as we are and try to help others, which is great. Now, there's still, like I said, little things behind the scenes where we want to control people through
Men
shady
are
business
flawed
practices,
creatures.
Yeah.
We always will be.
But I think the spirit there is of progress. Western, you could argue Egypt was technically Western culture with what they did before another Western culture got there. Took it, yeah. You could very well argue Egypt, but you know, I don't want to go into
at least in spirit.
Yes.
So the next thing I want to do is talk about American culture, because
Okay.
I think, Dom, you're exactly right in the sense of that, like, Americans still follow the tenets of Western culture. We've just forgotten what they were for. That's the argument I'm going to lay out when it comes to American culture. And I already kind of touched on it a bit, but like in going that each human has innate value, do we follow that as Americans anymore? I don't think we do. I don't think we act like humans have innate value. I think we've become very utilitarian, going like, what does this person bring to me? It's the whole, swipe left culture, kind of like,
Yeah.
does this person have the traits that I want them to have? And we have that in the workplace as well. We see it with our children, people wanting to eventually be able to program traits into their children. We're no longer going like, hey, this life is a gift, regardless of what they have to go through, regardless of their struggles. And we're starting to go like, what does this bring me? So I think we've forgotten that life is sacred in all of its forms. And I'm gonna attack the right on this one. As you guys know, I lean towards the right. When people ask what political party I am, I go like I'm Catholic. Uh, but I'm gonna slam on the right a bit here because they are the party in power, and they're the ones that I'm probably closest to politically. Why are we deporting people?
Why?
Yeah, why?
I guess the breaking of federal law, I suppose.
Yeah, and federal law is important. But like what is the real reason? Why is it illegal for too many people to come over?
Why is it illegal for too many people to come over, or
Yeah,
illegal
like
for them to?
why is it why can we not have an open border? I guess is a better question. Sorry.
One, I guess the easiest one is it's in the laws. We can't have an open border. But
But why is it
also,
in the law?
why is it in the law?
Yeah, like why
I
can't we just have an
suppose
open door policy?
you you could argue, I guess, that the founders eventually assumed that despite wanting to have a lot of people in the country, that they anticipated at some point it one be enough, and two, if you can't regulate the people, you can never guarantee it, but you
Yeah.
can less guarantee that their values match the values your country's supposed to be founded upon. I
Why is
suppose.
sovereignty important? I guess is what
Yeah.
I'm
Why is
asking.
sovereignty important? I guess it goes into that, like the value of your country. The
Yeah. It it's
yeah.
too much to sustain. That's the reason.
Yes.
But I feel
Yeah.
like, especially on the right, we've lost sight of that. It's just becoming deporting to deport because we
Mm.
don't want them here. And it's like, no, 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 no. We want immigrants.
Yeah.
Immigrants are
Yeah.
amazing. However, it's a sustainability and a safety issue.
As
But we've
opposed to
lost sight of that, and we're
yeah.
treating it more like you're no good to us, so get out. And
Yeah.
that's not
Mm.
Western culture.
Yeah. You
That's
can
not
even
the
argue, just to your point, that the government has allowed, like, overlooked it too, and they're letting they're kicking
absolutely.
certain people out, but they're keeping certain illegals here that are now too part of the system.
Yes, it's
And they're like,
become
well, you
what
do
use are you?
produce for us. So now that you're used to us, we can go ahead and forgo the laws and you can stay because you're
Yeah, so
filling your role.
that's me saying
You,
that Americans have lost the idea of life is sacred, being made in the image of God. We've lost it. We don't see it anymore. And going on to the second one of being able to find, you know, to have the freedom, we've lost that too. Our whole lives are told that we need to do this, 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 and this is the right way from both sides. And we're not told why. We're never. Freedom is for a reason. It is not to do
yeah,
whatever the heck you want. Going back to what Socrates talked about in Plato's Republic, absolute freedom is slavery to oneself. Absolute freedom is bad.
yeah,
So,
freedom
we as
within the law.
Americans, we worship freedom like a god. When freedom is an attribute to help you get to God, be it Christianity or what else, like freedom is not a god in of itself. And we Americans treat it like it's a god. Like, why are we patriotic? We're patriotic because we need this country to make it. It's a beacon of hope to the world. That's why we're patriotic. But you have some people who treat America like it's their football team.
Yeah,
Like no matter
tribalistic.
no matter what America does, they're like America, and it's like no. And like, and let me touch on this: America first. Why America first? I'm going to ask this to you, Jamal. Why America first?
Like the United States of America.
Yeah, the movement of America first. Only jobs in America. We should only help America. We should like only deal with issues to deal with America and the rest of the world, it's their problem. It's a big movement rising on the right.
I don't
and
know if
been
it's
rising for
the rest of the world that's all their problem. It's America first. Take
yeah,
care of your issues first. Everybody
which
else secondary or tertiary.
I want to point out, I agree with that. But
A lot of times, though, it
why?
leans in the direction you just said, though.
Why is that? I think it's just because that we know our like beliefs. We try to strengthen what we have here first before we can help anybody else.
Exactly. You hit it right on. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's what it
Because
should be.
like it's a whole saying of I can't help you if I'm in a mess.
Right.
I need to
Mm.
get my ducks in a row before I come and help
Yeah,
you.
put your own house in
So,
order.
yes, exactly. So, when I hear America first, it's like, let's take care of our issues and then we can help the world. Where, unfortunately, a lot of Americans are going like, America first and then that's it. We stop there. Like, they're
Yeah.
Like
doing
we're
the
the
first half of the
best.
equation.
Become
Yeah.
isolationist.
Yeah, like America first because we're number one, instead of America first because we can't help the rest of the world if we are a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I disagree with, because we're not superior in any way. Our culture may be better than other cultures, but that does not make the human beings in that
Better.
culture any
Yeah.
more valuable. I am not more valuable than a kid in Congo.
We
We
talked
have
about
the
this.
same value.
We talked about this a little bit in the podcast. Dominic brought it up of like other people's problem, other world's problems compared to our problems. Like it shouldn't matter.
First world versus third
Yeah,
world.
like just
Yeah.
because their problem is they don't have enough clean water and ours is I don't like the way this shoe is made. Like it shouldn't
Yeah,
it doesn't matter because it should be equal in terms of like we all have problems.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that America needs to be active in the world and using its power and wealth to make other people's lives better. Now, it should serve its citizens first. However, that's to help it be prosperous, and then we can move on to helping other people, not just stop at the America first. Because I have a problem with that, because it's basically making the argument that we are in some way more valuable.
Let everywhere else burn, but we're good.
Yeah, no, and it's also just bad for the planet. We're a human species. I am not an American before I am an
It's a
Earthling.
shame everywhere else just disintegrated, but man,
uh,
I'm
well,
glad we
my
built these walls.
my thing is I don't know how it's going to happen because America in itself is so divided that
We are.
there's no I don't see a in between. Like me myself personally, I don't go with any side of party because I like views from each. And I think that that is the way to go personally, but
Yeah.
people are so split that they don't even want to hear
What you have to
what
say.
anyone else has to say. So it's
You
like
gotta
how are you
make-
supposed to come
You
together?
gotta burn the parties to the ground and have no political parties in the first place.
George Washington said, "Don't be bipartisan. Don't do
Yeah.
two parties."
Doesn't make
And
any sense.
we didn't listen to him.
No, we
Uh,
did not.
but again, like what I'm trying to say is that American culture comes from Western culture, and there's the roots of good there. But we need to remember why we do what we do. Right now, we're
Yes.
just doing actions because it's the way we've always done them. We need to remember and think about it critically of why we do these things. Why do we have these rules? Why do we have these traditions? If we don't, we're going to continue going down this Warhammer 40K path of like doing a tradition that we have no idea where it came from. And it's going to get
No.
slowly more and more twisted and gross. And it's going to lead to a bad place.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I think we're going too fast. Like America's just too fast growing that we don't know what is occurring right now in the moment. And I think it's not good for us. Like, who knows what's going to happen 5 years from now that could be detrimental to us because we did something today. We're going too fast. Too fast.
Yeah.
And
I
again-
am glad we're influential, but
Yeah, no, you're right, Dom. We need to be. Let's be totally honest here. We need to be influential. I just fear that in the future we will become a bigger threat than the things that are a threat now.
Mm.
And going off what you said, Jamal, progress is great, but why do we want to progress? Right now, it feels like we're progressing just to progress.
Yeah.
But why
be
do we
the
want to
first.
progress? Do we want to make the world a better place? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like we just want to make my life more comfortable.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's not a good reason. That's a bad reason. We shouldn't we need to make the world a better place because we are citizens of the earth before we are citizens of the United States. And I know a lot of people are going to be very upset by that statement.
He's a globalist.
Because, like, again, and I think globalism is also incredibly dangerous, but we just need to be aware that you can be loyal to the United States and love the United States and be patriotic, but also care about that kid in Congo. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be exclusive. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well,
Yeah,
Americans first, screw the rest.
I think it kind of goes with what you both said. And I've thought about this before. Like you said, Josh, that it's like progressive just to be progressive, just for the sake of it. Where, like, if you look in the United States, people say, like, well, we should always seek to progress. And I say, I agree in terms of like technology and always seeking to do the right things. But there seems to be a point where certain things just keep going in a certain direction when we used to know where to stop and focus on other areas that needed progression, as opposed to, oh, okay, this law now gave these people the right. Like, let's take a huge leap example that doesn't make any sense.
No.
I'm ready.
Like, let's say, because in this country, women used to not have the right to vote.
Okay.
And then we progressed, and now they have the right to vote, which is amazing. So eventually you hit equality. When equality can be good and bad for different reasons. Like if you gave Jamal and I the same level box to stand on to see over a fence, it's not going to work. You should give Jamal a bigger box. I'm a little bit taller. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Calling the
you
man
know
out.
what I mean?
Yeah, but no, yeah.
Like if I were to give, like somebody were to feed me and a little boy, and he gave us the same exact portions, it's not going to do the right thing. So if you progress in a certain way, I just want to bring that up. But at some point, let's say somebody focused on the women thing. Okay, women should have the right to do this. Great. Now they have the right to vote. Great. But if you just progress, now maybe we should progress. Now it's time to go in the opposite way. Maybe women should be the only ones allowed to vote. Maybe now women should be the only ones allowed in office. Like take one side, and it starts to imbalance everything. And I think it goes into your freedom and like you focus on the ends rather than like the beginning of why you do this certain thing. We've always progressed to make life better, not more comfortable, but like better overall, and sought, especially in the United States, to make it fair. If you know, equality was we wanted equality for women, for blacks, for this, that, and the other thing, because it was fair, not just because equality for equality's sake.
And I'm gonna expand on it. I might get canceled here for sure.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm right there with you. Don't worry. We're done.
I'm very careful about my words.
We're going in and I like how you were saying that like it can go past where we need to stop, right?
Yeah.
Because we do it all the time, but we give light to something specific when there's something else going on too, right? So for instance, we talk about like you talk about like race, but you can talk about like sex, right? So like specifically like LGBTQ, right? No hate, because respect everybody. Yeah. And I love how they went like, okay, first the gays, then lesbians, then transgender, whatever, right? But then when does it come for something else? So while this is happening, there could be something else happening in a different thing that we don't know about, because this one has so much light on it that it's taken away from something else. But this one can, like, let's say gays, right? Let's say if gay people only, I can't speak for gays, so I'm just hypothetically, right? But let's say if gay people only wanted to get married in a church or wherever the case may be, they just want to get married. Let's say, okay, well, now you have the right to get married. Okay, well, now I want this, and this. Okay, well, I can give you this, but like, what about this, like, bomb that's going on over here or something that's going on over here that we need to take care of too? But you're putting so much publicity into this that this one gets overlooked. I think we need to figure out how to balance it while working. It's hard to work on everything at the same time. But we got to give light to everything too.
You gotta give light to everything. You gotta know when things have reached the. I think when I talk about fairness, like there's a sweet spot for almost every issue
Yeah.
that we should always be seeking to find, rather than always trying to push things in a perceived progressive direction.
Right? Because then it could be like, okay, we want marriage. Well, now only gay people can be married, and only gay people can have this. Or it could be the
Yeah.
same for blacks. Like, oh, we were free. Well, now we want to enslave white people because, like, you know what I mean? Like, it can go
Yeah.
over. where it needs to
Killmonger
go.
route.
Yeah. Or it
Yeah.
talked or
Well, I
when you
don't
talked
know.
about freedom, Josh, it could be like you have the freedom, and we have amazing freedom in the United States,
Yeah.
but it could be pushed beyond where it should be. You have a freedom to make any decision you want, but maybe people will start to want freedom to make any decision they want without any consequences. Maybe they will eventually want the freedom to decide who he gets the consequences, who doesn't. Maybe they eventually decide what freedom is, and it just keeps going and going and going past the point where it should be, in my opinion,
Yeah.
the freedom to make whatever choice you want, but you also need to educate yourself on what the consequences of that decision may be and accept them
For what they are.
for what they are.
Well, see, that's my thing too. I know we had this discussion and we talked about it a little bit last week, but who decides
Who decides what
that you get to tell me what is right? That's my only thing with the law. Now,
Well,
I'm not opposing it. Like if I go out there, you said drink, and I hit somebody and go to jail, that's fine, and I
But who
agree with
decides
that.
you go
But
to
who
jail?
is like you
That
have
law-
to go to jail? Like
That's
I don't
why
know.
That
it's us as a
law-
society, but yeah.
Yeah, with that, because what you're touching on, Jamal, is that need in humanity to know that the law is based off of something bigger than himself and not
Right.
just some dude. And that's why Ten Commandments were so effective and powerful. They weren't laws from a dude. They were laws from outside of us.
Yeah.
They're universal laws that resonate with our souls.
Yeah.
I don't think you sit there and go like, "Oh, these 10 Commandments." No, the ones the ones you're upset about is like, seriously, this stupid little arbitrary bureaucratic law that I have to follow.
45 miles
Yeah,
an
like
hour.
things like like these man-made laws we do chafe at because a lot of times they feel like laws for the sake of laws, and
Yeah.
some of them
Yes.
do hold a lot of value. I'm not saying they don't, but we do need to realize, why is this law put in place? Why do I have to follow the speed limit? Well, because in this area it may be dangerous to go faster, and it could end a human life, which is sacred, and I don't want to end a human life,
Yeah.
and I don't want to end my own life either. So
Yeah.
that ties back to the 10 Commandments, these laws outside of ourselves. But like, there's this law of like, oh, if you file this paperwork wrong, we're gonna fine you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, where does this come from? Did I hurt someone? No.
No,
It's
and
like,
I get
no.
that. Those arbitrary laws that just are needed to make society run fluidly. But I think almost at its core, now that I think about it, it goes back to the fairness thing. What is fairness? I just think fairness is what we're always working towards, not everybody, but at its core,
It's the
working
hope that we're
towards
working
finding
towards it.
the sweet spot that God may have agreed with. Like a true fairness for whatever that law may. Now, it may be something goofy for like, oh, and yeah, like the speed limit is 20 and I went 25, so now I'm going to jail. Like,
yeah.
For
yeah,
25?
God might not make that the most important thing ever. Like, yeah, that was the 11th.
You're done.
commandment.
You're done.
Yeah.
Kid.
But
No longer a
it-
9 out of 10.
Yeah, we're thinking towards 9 out of 10. We're thinking towards what is fair.
Mhm.
And that's what Western culture has always tried to push towards. It's working towards fairness and fairness rather than progressivism. We've progressed towards fairness and trying to meet that perfect spot that, I don't know, God would be proud of, or that whatever would
Yeah.
agree with.
And our system is never going to be perfect. I think that's the thing that people need to realize. Like, I think a
We're
lot of
not
people on the left really want to try to build a utopia, but it's never going to happen. And I'm not saying that we don't strive to make things better. We should 100% always be striving to make
Yeah.
things better. However, this idea that we're going to reach a Star Trek world where there is no money and we just do things because we love it,
Star Trek
that's
rule actually sucks, but that's all right.
not going to happen, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and we need to recognize that the issue with the systems is not even just the system. It's the humans in the system that are the problem.
Yes.
And we can't fix the human problem.
Yeah, this isn't a society of only God himself. If he was walking around, yeah, it'd be perfect, but we're not
Yeah.
in heaven.
Yeah,
on-
we're very.
and it kind of
imperfect.
goes to what we've all been saying. I mean, yeah, there's that humanity aspect. What was I about to say? I think, dang it, I just lost it because I got,
No.
but yeah, there's, when you look at society, crap. But anyway, whatever.
I'm
bring it
sorry.
up if I-
I'm sorry. Yeah,
No,
bring
no,
it up.
so it's
It'll be
okay.
at the
I
very
think-
end of the episode. She'll be like,
yeah, I
"Wait."
think it just happened to do with, yeah, that perfect utopia. Oh yeah, that's what it was. If you look like 2,000 years ago, people probably dreamed of something they couldn't even, like today would be a utopia beyond their wildest dreams. What do you mean I can go wherever I want and buy whatever I want and food is nearly endless, and if I work hard enough I can get to any station in life? This idea. And then 2,000 years from now, we're probably, hopefully we're going to be beyond this, but
Yeah,
Hopefully.
we'll just have
Yeah.
to see. I mean,
Well, I
we're,
think
utopia
we're,
is
we're living lives
inachievable.
better than Mansa Musa.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the richest man in history. Like
To
you and
ever
I,
live.
we are living. We have indoor plumbing, we have air conditioning, we have heaters. Like Mansa Musa didn't have any of that.
I think it's because we always want
You
more.
can buy bread.
Always want more than what we have. I think sometimes we just need to like take a seat back and acknowledge what we have without taking it for granted sometimes.
Yeah.
But we don't. Like not just us, but like society does not. It's always like I need the next best thing.
It's that impatience I talked about,
Yeah.
especially in the United States is a leader in it. And it's a good thing and it could be a bad thing of, well, we must push forward on to the next thing. We must achieve something more. We must be even better than we are. And that's not a terrible thing at its core, but always remember, like you said, Josh, the reason why we want to achieve more, to make a better lives for ourselves and others, not just for the sake of the next innovation.
Yeah. And we've already mostly covered this, but the third thing being giving people the tools to get what they want. I think America is failing there as well because kids are not being equipped with the tools to get where they want.
Like that
They're
testing
being-
thing and all that.
Yeah, it's what we talked about earlier. It's all about making sure that we can take tests. So I don't think kids or even any of us. How many times did we get into when we got to adulthood? We were like,
I don't know
What?
what I'm doing.
and part of that is normal, but the other part is like I don't feel like school prepared me for any of this.
No.
Yeah. And they argue like seek those answers for yourself. But I think at least people always bring up, why didn't they teach you taxes? Because you were 12. Why would they teach you taxes? But at the same time, you should know. Yeah, at least give them the tools. They don't have to use them, but if you provide context, and I'm not saying you shouldn't learn math. Like, when am I going to use that? Maybe you will. Depends on what career you go into. So obviously,
Yes.
you should learn the maths and sciences and readings.
And I think a really important thing that we already did touch on is that if you teach a kid to love to learn, it's like teaching a person to fish instead of giving them food.
Yeah,
Like
I get that.
If someone loves to learn, they will probably go learn most of the stuff themselves. But so many, and I see this in kids, I see it in people my age, I see it in people slightly younger than me. Nobody loves to learn. They're like, man, this
Yeah.
sucks. I want to go play video games instead. Not that there's anything
Yeah.
wrong with video games. I love them. But like, nobody wants to learn or read or do anything that's like helpful, which will probably be our topic next week. I'll have to talk with these guys, but I want to talk about the plight of our younger generation.
I'm so down for that. We talked a little bit about that. We can go deep
Yeah.
into that. I agree with you though, because I feel like this, like I read this thing that people over the age of 35 will never ever run a mile again. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Like 90% of people over 35
Yeah.
will never run a mile again. 1 mile, you'll never run it consistently.
It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. But I
That is
think
crazy.
that Dang, what did you say before that? Dang, I just lost track of thought. But I think it's weird that the generation that we're living in doesn't try to advance itself in those kind of things. Like kids going to school and not learning about taxes until you're in college is crazy to me. Like you should start learning that in high school. Not even have to know about it, but like get taught little things like just, oh, they're going to start taking taxes out of your check. Get ready for that. Or I think we're so in depth because for me, in growing up, you're taught that you go to school, you go through elementary to high school, you graduate, you have to go to college in order to be anything, and then after college, like growing up, you're taught like after college you have it, like that's it. But
It's
that's
done.
not the real
It's like,
world. Like
what?
you go to
Yeah.
college and then you're still freaking out because
Sicking
you don't know
yourself,
what's going to
yeah.
happen. Like it's
Yeah.
we're delusional.
I mean, it goes back to the culture thing. We used to, and there, it's still here, like in the background, maybe. But because we've reached this point, we used to have a culture. Like we used to be number one in the world in education. Then people stopped caring. That's part of the reason why they want to shut down the Department of Education, because once we made it, it became just too much about test scores and all that. But we used to be the fittest nation in the world with the fittest youngest generation. Now we're obviously not. It just
Definitely
goes to
not.
the values of, and it goes beyond the United States,
Yeah.
like into Europe and other places. We don't have the same. Our main value seems to be comfortability, like being comfortable, as opposed to bettering ourselves.
And
And everybody wants to be comfortable anyway.
yeah,
but-
no, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be comfortable. You should
But
be able
we
to
used
enjoy.
to keep fitness, education, and success as a great
But-
thing.
Quoting Socrates again, not directly, I don't remember the exact quote, but he talked about how you had to be fit in mind and body,
Mhm.
or you weren't living the best you could be. And it's so, and again, this goes back to we've lost the why. And because we've lost the why not just live for comfort? Why
Yeah,
do I
I see.
have to be fit? Why do I have to be smart? Why do I
Yeah.
have? Because again, if we don't have an answer to that, then why do the work?
That's fair. I guess in a lot of people's minds, like, yeah, we've already achieved, like the United States and all these places, yeah, we've achieved all this greatness. But then now people can rest on their laurels, you know?
Yeah,
Like, oh, there's somebody else. They'll figure out the next thing.
yeah. Because if you don't have the why you should do a thing, it's just a pointless thing. That's why, as Americans, as the West, we need to start remembering the why. And if we can't find that why, we better start thinking about that why.
Mm. Yeah,
It's super
Okay.
important.
agree. Well said.
That was a good. Why is your why out
Yeah,
there in the world?
Let us know.
Yeah. Because you matter.
Yeah,
Don't
we
just
do.
be like, oh, I'm going to work because I have to get paid or I have to survive.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Why did you choose your job?
Why?
What do you see as your, not only your journey, but why you started it in the first place?
Yeah. Don't get
Yeah.
complacent either. I think that's the worst thing ever.
Do you agree? Do you disagree with us?
You might.
Yes,
Are
please.
you just dedicated to this thing and you've known your why since you were 6?
I do.
And you know society and what we're striving towards.
Yeah. Start
Yeah.
small though. Don't go to the world. Start with you.
Yeah.
Start
And
with you.
argue with us, please.
Love arguments.
Even if you agree with us wholeheartedly, just start a fight
yeah.
in the comment section below.
Temper us and we'll temper you. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like an idea needs to be tested like a good sword.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why we made this soul oasis. You're searching yourself, but this oasis, we haven't fully explored it either. You got to tell us. Maybe you want to go down a completely different path towards that shining light beacon over there. It looks scary to me, but hey, if you want to go over there, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Tell us what you saw.
Yeah. Tell us what you saw. You're not going with them.
I mean, it'd be
Hey,
like,
listen.
oh, nah,
This has
do it
become a
first.
Lovecraftian nightmare.
Yeah, if you come back with tentacles, maybe we were right.
I mean, hey,
But if
now
you
we
come
know.
back
Yeah.
with some sort of magic power,
We just turned it into a you go first.
yeah,
you go and I'll see.
you progress towards the future, and we will be here waiting to find out what happened.
So I could tell the story. You know, someone's got to tell your story. You know?
Glorious revolution.
Now, we can all go towards our. Let's progress for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, final thoughts,
Yeah.
Dom.
Me first?
Yeah, no, you didn't get to
Dang.
go first at all
My
today.
final thoughts. I love Western culture. I love Western philosophy. I think the West, like I said, is a blanketed term, but we have progressed society at large, humanity at large for the better. And I think people have always struggled with why, but people used to know why more, or at least told themselves they knew why more. And while we have achieved a lot, like Josh said, we need to find that why and want to know why. Not don't just find the why just because, like, hey, listen, I found the why, cool. Know why we're doing these things and light that fire in yourself to go seek it. You don't have to be the next Isaac Newton and build other stuff just because, okay? If you want to, fantastic. All right. There's always going to be those Benjamin Franklins, those people that invent, that seek things out. But you can too, even if it's just looking into yourself and finding out why you do what you do.
Yeah.
I have faith in the United States of America, but I'm an eternal optimist. I always believe things will work out for the better in the end, partly because I know what is at the end, in my opinion, you know? He is at the end. He's waiting for us, everyone.
Oh.
But yeah, let us know what you've been up to this week. Please check out our shorts. I uploaded a few this time. I said I would, and I did. And share this podcast with your friends and family. Let us know what you've been up to. Please let us know in the comments below if you disagree with us on anything, if you agree with us on anything, or if you have no idea what we said. We were just, you can't even speak the language. Go ahead and write something below. I'll put it into Google Translate.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll figure it
Let us
out.
know something.
Who, Jamal?
No.
I think that, well, first off, go out there and make a difference for yourself,
Mm.
right? Go change your life. Oh,
Yeah.
now this is the podcast to do it on. Just go change your life. Go change. You do something that you didn't do yesterday. Do it today and do something different tomorrow because you are growing. You live your life only once. So go out there and make a difference. Western culture is fantastic in my eyes. I do have a lot of questions. I'm the type of person that's going to ask questions.
Yeah.
I might know what 2 + 2 is, but I want to know, do you do? And how did you get there? Because I'm an intellectual person. I love
7?
people. You got 7? Me too.
Oh, we didn't talk about Western culture. We failed.
Oh, Yeast. Yeast. I thought you said Weast.
But go make a difference. Start with yourself, I think, is always my thing. Start small before you can go change the world. Because if you can't fix you, then how are you going to fix someone else perfectly? You can't. It's not perfect. You're going to be a 9 out of 10 forever. So
We're all just 9s out of 10s until the end.
just go make a difference is all I ask. And if you go out there, share this podcast. If you haven't learned anything, watch it again and again.
If you ever learned anything, you didn't watch hard
You didn't
enough.
watch hard enough. You didn't try hard enough. So try again and again because we love you and we're here for you. And drink your apple juice,
And your tea.
please.
Drink
Josh.
what I drink.
Oh yeah, maybe not 15 Long Island iced teas,
yeah,
but maybe
don't-
try one.
Or
Don't-
at least
don't-
13.
Yeah, drink the apple juice, drink the tea. Do not drink the coffee or the alcohol. You can do better.
That's well said.
I just want to say I'm so glad to be on here again. As I said, I want to be as close to permanent as possible. Just remember that, like Western culture, always think about the why and be ready to change like Western culture has. Look at your life and go like, does this belong in my life or is this dragging me down? Because that's the beauty of Western culture, that it was able to look at itself and go like, oh, this is bad. We need to get rid of this.
Yeah.
Be a mini Western culture. Look at your life and go like, oh, is playing video games for 15 hours good for me? Probably not. How can I bring this down?
Unless that's your job, then you know what.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then you make your money. I'm very jealous of you. But always try to learn, try to grow, and realize that sometimes your personal whys may change. Now I go to work because I want to provide for my wife and soon to be little baby. So be open to that change, but just always remember you need to find that why. And I'm proud of all of you watch this video 8 more times, like Jamal said, because our wisdom is just so hard to understand. Maybe because we rambled for 50 minutes before actually getting to
Yeah.
what we were supposed to.
Let us know if
Um,
the first 50 minutes you learned more than the last ones.
If you did, we have failed. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking next week we'll talk about the plight of the younger generation, and then maybe we'll do something fun, just something a
Yeah.
little bit more relaxed after that.
True.
Ah,
You get back to the normal goofiness that we talk about.
there we go.
You guys can see that I'm goofy too. I'm not the serious one, believe it or not.
Oh.
You can tell with the Gengar ears.
Yeah, no. Honestly, none of you should be listening to me to begin with. I bought these.
He's just been talking out of nowhere.
Well, as always, I am so glad to talk with you guys and be able to share what we have, because I think that's another beautiful thing of Western culture, sharing what we have.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
It's your
Well-
platform.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining
We
us.
love you.
I'm Dominic.
I'm Jamal.
And I am Joshua, or Josh, or you know what? It's fine.
Joe, maybe.
Mr. Foster.
Yes, Mr. Foster.
How professional.
Mr. Josh, as the kids call me.
Mr. Josh. Well, like I said, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you next time. Good luck on your way out of the Oasis. It's sandy out there. And we'll see you next time on Soul Oasis.
Bye.
Take care. And I couldn't stop the recording.
Yay, it's never ending.
All right, well, we're still
Dang,
here.
all
Well,
right.
what is going on? Let me stop the
Crazy.
recording. All right. I want to end the episode. Well, we'll edit this out, but thanks for joining us, people. What is going on? It's look at it. Look at it.
Oh.
It started a new one.
Huh.
Did it at least save the last one?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
If that's the case, we just do a 10-minute episode of hey guys, Western culture, pretty good. Bye.
It started a new
no,
one. It
it
looks
is
like. I think it
starting a
just
new one.
bugged. Do you think I should close it?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh. We're gonna reconnect with you in a second.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go check on my wife while you guys do that.
Okay.
I hope it saved, because I will never
That
be
was a
able to be
long
that
episode.
smart again.
Yeah.
There you go.
Those brain cells are gone.
There you go.
That's so crazy.